We got Dreamcast guy. He says, PlayStation hates PC gaming. Sony going back to full PS5 exclusive, right? All right, let's see what he's got to say.
Hey there, gamers. Dreamcast guy here. Today we're talking about
is he going to hold up the controller?
Leak that has just come out about PlayStation. Now, pretty much every major source, from Digital Foundry to Sneaker SO to Jason Schreier himself, is
every major source. Sneaker SO. It's been a minute since I've heard about that guy.
Apparently claiming Sony is pulling out of the PC business, meaning the fact that for the last couple of years, there's been a very
nope, not happening.
I mean, how can they say that Sony's pulling out of the PC business when they literally have games that are going over to PC as we speak, right? And then they'll sit here and hand wave and say, not the live service games. Yeah, cope. I mean, just so much copium.
Interesting experiment going on over at PlayStation, where they've been putting PlayStation first-party games onto Steam.
You guys peep what he just said? An experiment. Brother, that wasn't an experiment, brother. That was them being third party. That was them literally putting all their tentpole titles, putting their catalog on PC, brother. They're still doing that, by the way. Insane.
And not just multiplayer stuff. We're talking about God of War, Returnal, Spider-Man. These games have been coming to PC. And not only that, Sony bought an entire PC porting house, Nexus, to help make these incredible versions of these games.
I know, it's almost like this rumor is just nonsense, right?
These are
I mean, they have a whole studio that just ports games to PC.
Extremely good ports that clearly cost them a lot of money to make. They have
I mean, I don't know about that, right? Nexus does do a good job, right? But there has been some bad ports, right? I mean, let's just call it for what it is.
Screen support, 200 frames a second, crazy graphics customization. But apparently, according to these leaks, they've changed their mind. They do not want games on PC at all, unless it's like...
At all? What? Right? They literally have games going to PC. Like, what the fuck are they talking about?
A live service game. They're just saying, no thanks.
This is what I mean by you already know the bullshit, right? Unless it's live service games, right? Yeah, the live service games don't count, right? We hand wave those, man. Shout out to Alien Cheek. His hat is disgusting. Yes, I know. What is all that gunk on that hat, right? He definitely needs to wash it, right? That hat looks rattered and tattered.
PC at all. Unless it's like a live service game,
unless it's a live service game, right? Or Death Stranding, right? Because or Kena Bridge, the new one, right? I don't even know what the fuck it's called, Cosmore or some shit like that. Not those, right? Not those, but yeah, it's no longer on PC. They're putting games on PC, but not really though, right? Like it's just a whole bunch of bullshit.
Just saying, no thanks. The experiment has failed. Now let's talk about this because in a way, I think this makes more sense than we originally assumed. Let's get into it. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could, we're going to go through all the sources that are discussing that, but I think that just on the surface level,
the gaming ledger,
this kind of makes sense. You know, we've seen recent financials from Sony where they've essentially said that a lot of their games on PC are selling hundreds of thousands of copies, but to them, that's clearly just not enough. Just in general, the fact that PlayStation very much from the very start said the whole point of this PC experiment was to get you to buy a PlayStation 5.
Nope, not happening.
Like I said, I think that they want numbers like this, right? Let me see if I can find the goddamn picture, right? This is what it is. They want numbers like this, right? And I'm pretty sure these numbers got into the 300,000. They expected their IPs to do numbers like this, right? But us PC guys were like,
nope. Not happening.
They bring the games late, and then they expect to charge full price. And, you know, we just ain't going for that shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, I have no shame in my game. I sell the high seas for a lot of their games. I mean, it is what it is, right? Shout out to It's Me, the broke boy, right? Hat stains from the pipe he been smoking. Wow, right? You know, like I said, I can't relate. I think that might actually be what it is, to be honest with you.
The whole idea was, all right, we'll put Spider-Man on there, and now you want to buy a PS5 so you can get Spider-Man 2. Here's God of War. Now you want to...
Nope. Not happening.
I mean, you could... and this is the thing. I think all of this is cap. You can say that was the point, but then if that was the case, then why did they put Spider-Man 2 on there, right? If they're trying to coax you into buying a PlayStation, well, then they wouldn't have put the sequel on there, right? They were trying to make goddamn...
money.
Maybe they didn't make enough money, or maybe they didn't hit what they were expecting to make. But they half-assed did it.
Buy it to get God of War Ragnarok. But it seems like that just didn't really work. PC gamers were buying the games. They're loving the games. They're cheerleading the games. They're modding the games.
Nope. Not happening.
What game were they buying, loving, and cheerleading?
Games, but
I mean, Stellar Blade, right? Now, I'll be fair. I did like Stellar Blade, and I did like Death Stranding, but I mean, other than that, I don't know what he's talking about.
at the same time, they already have a really powerful PC. They're not going to buy a $600, $700 PlayStation 5 Pro, right? They don't have that same like fire inside them because in a way they think, well,
They don't have that same fire inside them. What is he talking about? Did you have a fire inside you to buy one? Is that why you sold your old PS5 retail price to your girl, right? You had a fire inside you, right? Must support the corpo.
the games will come eventually. And it sounds like, according to new leadership, they're now ready to pull back towards this PC push, particularly when it comes to first-player, single-player titles. I guess maybe it was just too expensive, or maybe in a way, they weren't seeing that feedback that maybe they actually desired. Like, think about how they handle exclusives. Sony does not release a lot of PlayStation exclusives, especially...
Damn. Like I said, every once in a while, the mask will slip off, right? Let's hear that again.
Or maybe in a way, they weren't seeing that feedback that maybe they actually desired. Like, think about how they handle exclusives. Sony does not release a lot of PlayStation exclusives, especially in the last couple of years. When we do, they're incredibly good, like Ghost of Yotei or Astrobot, but
I mean, I don't know. Even you guys didn't buy Astrobot, right? And I mean, I seen Ghost of Yotei, right? That shit just looks like a DLC.
even when that game sells something like, let's say 5, 6, 7 million copies, right? Let's say 7 million copies of Ghost of Yotei have sold. That to them is incredibly valuable because how many of that is new players? How many of that is people that bought a PlayStation 5 to play that experience and now they're locked into the ecosystem? Meaning that, hey, every future game, we're going to get a cut. First party or third party. Every game you buy is now through us. Whereas if you're playing it on Steam, yeah, we're happy we got $70 out of you, but Valve got a cut, and now Valve's going to keep getting a cut. We want to make sure.
Exactly. They want to penny pinch us like they do with you guys. Restrain you to a closed ecosystem. And I don't understand why these fanboys cape for that shit so much, but like I said, with these PlayStation guys, you give them options, right? You give them more storefronts, and that starts to scare them.
That you're
They like being in that little closed-off garden, even though it's withering away, right?
in the PlayStation ecosystem. But the one exception to that, of course, is live service.
Oh, wow.
Sony is very dead set on this idea.
Oh, so pretty much just fuck everything that you just said, right? Here comes the goalpost shifting, right? I say it all the time, right?
We're moving the goalpost, Whiskey. That's what we do.
Moving the goalpost. Oh, except for live service, right? Like, what? So PlayStation will put games on PC just only if they're live service. Okay.
Trying to make their own version of Fortnite. Just everybody wants some sort of live service. So games like Marathon, I am actually going to be playing the Marathon beta. Starts here in 30 minutes. I'm going to be doing a video about the Marathon beta this afternoon. But stuff like
Yikes.
Marathon, that new Horizon Zero Dawn, like weird game. That,
get out of there.
Multiplayer stuff is still going to be on PC. And maybe some of that will even trickle over to.
I mean, they say only live service games, but I've been saying this. It seems like all that they're making is live service games. I mean, it seems like that's all that they've been putting out.
The Xbox.
If it actually ends up coming out and they don't cancel the shit.
But clearly, the main focus is, even if like there's little partnerships, some of the stuff may still be on third party, but anything that's made by Sony Studios, like Sony Santa Monica, it now is only going to be exclusive. And I think this kind of makes sense because I think it's just hard to deny the fact that PlayStation is now the default console. And honestly, I think Sony appreciates the fact that they just don't have to do that much work. Their system.
And this is what I mean, right? Make no mistake. They love this. They stick their chest out to this. Sony doesn't have to do that much work. Yeah, because you guys put up with anything. And this is what I mean. They had their half-ass attempt to try to tap into the PC market. And we told them,
Nope. Not happening.
right? So if they want to take their ball and go home, for lack of a better word, right? It is what it is, right? It ain't no tears shed over here.
Has sold so much that if you want a next-gen console.
Yeah, holy self-report. Yeah, I know. They're literally sitting here saying PlayStation doesn't have to do a lot. It's the default console. And they love that, right? They love the fact that PlayStation doesn't do a lot and they hype it to the fucking moon.
With the best optimized games, they're all on PlayStation. Or in this case,
literally, Kena Scars of Cosmora is coming day and date to PC. Yeah, but they'll hand wave it and be like, oh, that's second party, dude.
is PlayStation 5 Pro. Like right now, I do have a review going up tomorrow for Resident Evil Requiem. I have been playing
Oh, brother, your reviews are dog shit, right? Ain't nobody watching your review.
it, but there's weird embargo stuff. This version of the game is insane. It's photorealistic. I mean, the graphics literally practically defy the imagination. It just looks so...
Oh God, are they back to glazing that pisser? Here we go.
It's weird to think that it looks best on PlayStation 5 Pro. This is not because of...
No, it looks best on PC. All right, but then, like I said, they'll say, "Oh, that's PC. That's different."
Sony tools or Sony developers, it's that they're getting a return on investment. Developers know, okay, if we put in an extra $5 million, $10 million of development cost to make it look extra incredible on PlayStation 5, that's where most players will. We'll sell hundreds of thousands, if not millions of extra copies. So Sony is in this weird spot when they think...
Hey, we'll see, right? Capcom says all the time that they love putting games on PC. They love the support they get from PC. They say they receive the most support from PC, if I do remember correctly.
Okay, is it really worth trying to meet people on their side? Is it really worth trying to actually spend all this extra money porting, all this extra...
And here we go again, acting like it costs a shit ton of money to port these games, right? When they make these games on PC, right? This is what I mean. This is all just bullshit that they pull out their ass, right? Crazy, right? And it's funny that he says, is it worth it? Shit, right? I mean, brother, they put their whole their whole catalog. They put all the tempo titles on there. It must have been if they put all the games that they did on there, right? I mean, holy shit. Go over to PlayStation Studios on goddamn Steam and see all the games, brother. Shit. It must have been worth it enough for them to do it, goddamn. Quite the experiment they were running, right?
Development time to put...
You know, let's just put our whole entire catalog, our whole entire damn library on PC. Quite the experiment, right?
Money.
You know what I mean?
A external port out there on PC or even...
It's me, a broke boy says, no, Sigs, the PS5 Pro is equivalent to a 5090. Yeah, I know, right? Insane.
Xbox or Nintendo Switch, when really at this point, we might as well go back to the closed garden approach. With the PlayStation 4...
And here we go with the closed garden approach, right? And don't get me wrong, right? It is a closed ecosystem. But as I was saying earlier, that ecosystem is withering, right? And now they're cutting off money that they would get from, quote-unquote, putting games on other platforms, even though they're still putting games on PC. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 1 to 2 tentpole titles every 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people kind of forget this now, but Sony was obsessively closed ecosystem. They didn't even want you to be able to play with people on other platforms, which meant that for literally the first couple of years that Fortnite existed, you could only play with literally, like Nintendo Switch people could play with Xbox people, could play with PC people. PlayStation 4 was in its own separate bubble.
Okay, and why'd they burst that bubble, right? Why'd they open it?
In a way that very much worked. It took them years to start to let those walls down.
And why'd they do that?
I kind of think they're about to bring those walls back up. But I want to talk...
You were literally just saying that they're still putting the live service games on PC.
Talk about this Jason Schreier clip, because over on the Gaming Leaks...
What's mind-boggling is the PlayStation fangirls will believe a rumor, but they will believe the 3 PlayStation CEOs when they said they were going to port their tentpole titles to other platforms. Yes, they don't want to listen to the goddamn fireside chat, right? That's another thing they just dismiss, right? But they'll take... And look where we are. Right on fucking time, right? Shout out to fucking Ace Valentine. Here we are right on time, right? You know, what do they say, right? Time is a flat circle. Here we are yet again, gaming leaks and rumors, right? How many times have we ended up right here watching a Dreamcast guy video? This is their sources, by the way.
The rumor subreddit. People think that there's an extra bit to this. Jason Schreier says, pulling away from single-player PC ports, it's not speculation, but sometimes topics come up on the show, and I'm quite ready to publish a story about them. More to come soon. So basically, it sounds like he's already writing it, but Jason Schreier is very obsessive in his wording. He's very meticulous about framing like business merger.
Am I tweaking, or was this not the guy who was like, go woke, go top of the charts with Dragon Age Veilguard? And I also think he also said that Call of Duty didn't cannibalize sales on Game Pass. I never hear them run with what he said about that.
And motivations. He doesn't want to just, tweet it out. He'd rather make a clear, concise, here's the story and why you should care. So it sounds like he's still cooking that up. But
Halozilla said PlayStation is a walled-off garden, but the gate is unlocked. Yeah, that's what I mean. They want you just to forget the fact that, like, literally all the games are on PC.
People are pointing out the fact that this is probably part of another thing. You can see Sneeko SO also chimed in.
Wow.
Sneeko SO has done a lot of very...
oh, wow. Sneakers SO. Like I said, I haven't heard from this guy in a while.
Good leaks about hardware stuff. And basically he's saying, yep, they're pulling back. And here, I think, completely nails the...
This is what I'm saying. These are Reddit comments that we're looking at, by the way.
Other part of the discussion...
Yeah, trust me, bro. Yet again, it never fails.
That sort of changes how this was probably discussed when Sony first had the meetings about going to PC. You know, PC was this separate ecosystem. PC is over here, console's over here. We have this console competition, we've got PC competition.
No, PC is up there in the clouds, looking down, wondering why you guys glaze this corporation the way that you do.
Now, this next generation, the lines are starting to get blurred. There's talks that the next Xbox will, in fact, be able to play Steam games, which means...
but that dude that you just showed, Sneaker SO, said that that wasn't happening. All right, I thought that that thing was getting sunsetted. Now the dead console in last place is a threat? What? Are you guys hearing this? Am I documenting this correctly? I must be missing something.
Means that Sony is in a spot where maybe they're thinking, okay, it's not worth spending millions of dollars of our own money, our own investment, our own time, our limited developers. Putting those games onto PC means now we're putting them on Xbox, a direct competitor. And I still don't think the next Xbox...
Oh, but it wouldn't have been Xbox, dude. It would have just been a Windows device with an Xbox sticker on it, dude, right? I mean, these guys are silly, brother.
is even coming out, but that's something they do have to...
Wait a minute, what do you say?
Xbox, a direct competitor. And I still don't think the next Xbox is even coming out, but that's something...
Wow, so you don't even think that it's coming out, but you think that this had something to do with why they're pulling back on PC ports. I'm telling you, this space, that's all they give a fuck about is just rumors. They don't care about actual factual information.
You have to account for is that they can't...
Yeah, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Square Enix has entered the chat, right? Square Enix disagrees, right? Full-heartedly.
Lock it out. They can't say...
Right, my sources told me that Square Enix said they will never, ever, ever sign a goddamn contract again, right?
Hey, make this not work on Xbox. And those videos of people booting up Spider-Man 3 in 4K, super widescreen, crazy supports on an Xbox would look bad. I do think that would kind of make some people say, okay.
Oh, yeah, it would hurt your guys' feelings, right? And that's what I knew. I knew that it would hurt you guys, right? Because you guys always tried to cap and act like you didn't care about the games being on PC, right? But you guys are weird. You guys really like that exclusive shit. You don't want anyone else to play your games. It's extremely cringe.
Hey, why didn't I buy an Xbox then? And also, the Steam...
because you didn't fucking want to buy one.
Machine. I still...
Yeah, you can't make this up, brother. They want shit to be fucking paywalled so bad. It's crazy.
Some people are saying the Steam Machine will be irrelevant to the console market. I still think, you see a lot of people hating on the Steam Machine. People are hyping the Steam Machine up too much. It's a needle mover for the niche communities. Look, ignore that person. I think the Steam Machine is going to be...
Ignore that person, right? When we got a whole sea of motherfucking people just yapping on Reddit, but ignore that Reddit user. But take everything else seriously that I'm looking at. Oh, brother, this guy is ridiculous.
Absolute interesting...
Hey, and shout out to Illuminati, man. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you for showing up, dog. For real, for real.
Game changer. And again... the Steam Machine plays every Steam game. And I think, again, having these big, crazy, expensive AAA single-player stories that sell PlayStations, and now you could see it somewhere else.
I mean, I don't know, brother. I look at the top-selling games, right, and they're all multi-plat, right? But go ahead.
I do think that tells a lot of people PlayStation doesn't matter. I think that the stories...
Yikes. Holy shit. What did he just say?
I think that tells a lot of people PlayStation doesn't matter. I think that the stories, playing these games, sitting on your couch and seeing these crazy awesome plot twists and cool cutscenes and really nice...
Right? The whole damn game be a fucking cutscene, buddy, right? And what you mean, still plot twists and everything? Oh, it's all revenge bad. We've all seen it before, buddy. What are you talking about?
Set pieces like old school Uncharted, that sells system.
Oh, brother, those days are gone.
And if they see that, but you're holding an Xbox controller or you're playing that Steam controller, I think that does tell people, okay, I can play those games eventually on other platforms. I'm fine waiting. And Sony's getting afraid of that.
Oh,
that's just my 2 cents, though. How do you feel?
Yeah, that's just you talking out the side of your neck, saying a whole bunch of nothing, right? Yeah, Sony's getting worried about
money.
I mean, this shit is crazy, right? This dude clearly has never stopped using meth. Yo, Chris was not here cooking.
But the idea.
Yeah, rent is due for DCG. Well, it is the end of the month.
Pulling back from PC and going back to fully being exclusives on one platform. Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below.
Oh, yeah, this guy's tweaking, right? I wouldn't hold your breath, Dreamcast guy, right? I mean, holy.